Hi everyone, Coach Steve here with the latest in my training vlog. Some other people who might be watching my channel. This is more my story about how I'm getting back into training and coming back from a series of bad injuries and getting my mojo together, etc. So not typically my kind of coaching material, but if interested, you can see my own personal story. I do apply my own coaching principles, but and also I am 100% honest in this. I do take off my coaching hat and put on my athlete hat a lot more, and I'll talk through how I deal with stuff. So, um, I started this vlog around a month ago where I outlined my main big goals for the year. First off is Tokyo Marathon. Next, I have definitely booked in and will be done is 70.3 Venice. And I have a choice between Ironman Texas and Ironman Hamburg. I will choose which one I do out of that, depending on how the training's going. And this is me going through that. And again, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm actually going to let you look at my training data and I'll tell you the way I look at things, which is quite different the way I do things as a coach because and this is my own personal look and my own personal approach. So you'll hear things that my one-to-one guys will go, he never said. This is a case of do as I do as I say, don't do as I do, and because I know what works for me and I know what works for my athletes, but insight into the mind that is Coach Steve, the athlete. So we're going to go through. So this is my kind of first check-in in terms of data points. After, as I said, last month, so I had 4 weeks of training. So we're going to have a look at where we started. Okay, so this was my first week of training back, and as you can see, it was pretty spotty. Had a couple of training sessions, a couple of complete missed days. And now remember, I'm training for a marathon, and I managed to complete a whole run distance of 11 kilometers that week. Pretty poor. Um, and also if you look at my fitness or my CTL, which is 29, and they're going to put this in here as an illustration. That was my peak when I was in Ironman, Texas, and I qualified for Nice. I am a quarter of what I was in terms of fitness wise. But the first week was getting my ass in gear, putting it out there and saying my targets to you guys was actually I knew I had to train before, by the way. The couple of weeks beforehand, there were big gaps. There were no training whatsoever. So I'd gone from literally around 3 hours training, so to close on 7 hours training, which again, I'll have to be careful when I do this. I always look back. At one point, I was regularly knocking off 15, 16-hour training weeks, and it was no bother to me. This was a struggle, but it was a start. So this is where we're aiming for. Let's see how we had in terms of our small wins. Um, I got a better routine going. I got a better diet going. And again, I talked about that in the last blog where I actually really need to improve my kind of calorie monitoring and kind of eating the right foods, especially for the training I'm doing. I've managed to increase my weekly mileage. I haven't skipped any days. And how have I achieved this? Again, I talk about some of the tools and techniques in my Motivation Mondays. And this is me eating my own dog food. This is me, oops, was it doing what I said? So I got accountability buddies. I'm got traveling to Tokyo with three guys. So we started off our WhatsApp group. We started kind of planning run days together. We're keeping each other on track, etc. Um, and if you look at the previous session, I hadn't anything written down. Now, again, I'm even that far away from actually using one of my own training plans that I'm just literally trying to get into a training routine, training structure. Later on down the track, I will apply my own 12-week marathon training plan and use that to get me as close to sub 3 as possible. But I actually force myself to write stuff down in Training Peaks. Even just look, an ideal week would be 2 swims, 3 bikes, 4 runs. Okay. And that made it much more. It was popped up on my calendar. It popped up. I knew what I had to do tomorrow. I had better planning, etc. And also you suddenly see, where are the gaps? I'm missing out my swimming. I'm missing out in strength. I missed out my long run this week, which is poor. So things to improve. I need to get better at my morning starts. being a triathlete, being a runner, we have loads of things to juggle. So realistically, the only time in your control over your day is in the morning. And by the way, it's also really good preparation because most of your races have to get up early. I've fallen out of that habit. I need to get back into it. And those are the days where the swims are in the morning. I need to get up at 6 in the car, get up to the pool for 7. They're being missed. Swimming is key, especially even running for a marathon. It's really good for injury prevention in terms of it keeps good strong core, it keeps you flexible. And anytime I don't swim and I do a marathon block, I tend to be injured. So this is a big risk to me. Another thing I need to improve is outdoor mileage. A lot of these in easy runs were actually on the treadmill. And again, this is where I'm laughing because my one-to-one guys are going like, "Oh, you say never use the treadmill." I am being soft on myself at the moment. I'm coming back and it's warm and I can put on some YouTube motivational stuff and I can, was it hit the pace and I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to put on gloves, etc. I need to get getting, I need to harden, toughen up a little. So I need to get some outdoor miles in. I've been doing loads of Zwift. Great tool, but it can be overdone. And as you can see, I have been overdoing it. I need to kind of toughen up. And there's a social side in that. And by going on online and all the rest, and you're not really pushing yourself. So these are things I need to improve, and these are things I'm taking away. Prioritization. I missed my long run this week, which is like you're a marathon runner, that's your bread and butter. And to be honest, I nearly missed that training altogether. And it was a strong talking to from the girlfriend that I had to go out and I was feeling very low and had low energy and had a big busy day. And I went, look, just go out and do 30 minutes. You'll feel better. And she was right. As in, so I did get it. I got whatever, like close on 6K, half what I planned to. But it also meant I got over kind of 8 hours for the week. I'm moving forward. I'm building up kind of each week a little bit better than the rest. Um, so in terms of if I was to grade myself, it'll actually be interesting. What would you think in terms of your how you grade me? Um, my report card, I'm gonna give myself based on where I should be. This might sound a little harsh, bit of C minus. As I said, I should be in a better routine at this stage. The weight metrics, body fat percentage is still way too high. My CTL, as I said, I've gone from 29 to 39. But again, as I said, that's 100. I was 120 at peak. Long way to go. So didn't fail, but room for improvement. Okay. And by the way, if you are following this and find it vaguely interesting, please hit subscribe and press hit like. Hit like will motivate me to know that people are watching it and all the rest, and I'm going to keep myself accountable. And you guys can post up in terms of what you're finding hard in your training. Let me know in the comments below. And let's use this as a medium to keep everyone focused. It's kind of because training's hard. It's cold, it's dark for us in the Northern Hemisphere. We got to keep each other motivated. And yeah, please, if you're watching, do subscribe. Not only for this stuff, but I do a lot of other training content, which would be useful to you as well. Aside from a one-time strong athlete trying to get back to being a strong athlete again. So what's next up and what are the targets? I need to start running more than 60K a week. I hit just over 40. I need to continue the body fat percentage improvements. I'll talk about that in the next week's blog, as in sort of next fortnight, one after the after my Monday motivation. That's the kind of the routine I do for a Monday. It's my vlog, Monday motivation, my vlog, yada yada. I gotta get over 18K in my long runs. Tokyo at this stage is just over 14 weeks away, but I need to start doing my long runs. The structure and routine, as I said, the morning stuff, I've got to get my ass in gear. I've got to get better prepared. I know all the stuff. I give lots of hints and tips and do it. I got to start applying my own tricks. CTL, I want to get over 80. Now that's a big jump, but I know what will do that. I know that in terms of that's consistency, that's was it longer mileage, that's sort of double run days as well, which will feature. And now I'm going to do that. I'm also going to start doing training runs with my accountability buddies. I'm going to pencil that in on the Thursdays, and that they're great. They're just more social. A lot of these things I've been done on my own, which is hard in itself. So I'm going to make things easier and more fun and therefore easier to do. The consistency will be key. I've also added in some B races. B races are great, and anyone who listen to me knows I'm a big fan of these. B races just it could be something completely different to your A goal. So, like for example, my next A goal is Tokyo Marathon. I'm going to do a duathlon the week beforehand because it'll tie into at that stage I will be hitting speed work. I'll be hitting some. I'll have some decent bike mileage. I should have got strength in my legs, and it means you won't skip the speed sessions. If you go like, oh, I've got the duathlon. I know my nemesis is there. I'm not going to let them him have an easy day on me. Um, so that's the plan. I hope you found that interesting. I will check in. I will give myself another couple of weeks, and each month I give myself a report card. And hopefully, I get better than a C minus. I also will kind of show you the data. I'm going to show you some. I'm going to video some of my run sessions. I'm going to video some of my actual breakdown of my sessions, etc. I'll keep track of projects, and I'm going to call myself out in these targets, and you can hold me accountable. So, no, no, hang on. That looks like you said it over 80, got to 50. That's not, again, call me out. Let's keep each other motivated. Let's keep each other kind of progressing. And guys, thanks very much for watching. Do appreciate it. Again. Like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're interested. And I hope your training's going really well. And onward and upward.